Can memes be terrorism? Well, according to this one person, yeah. Hey, alright, let's do this. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy, and this is the izzynobre show. So something very strange happened yesterday. This story involves a lady by the name of Renee Sherman and a dude called Jacob. No last name given, but he has been dubbed a quote-unquote white supremacist. And see, we're running into problems already. People have been using that very liberally, that label, so it gets very hard to tell actual white supremacists apart from, oh, those people are just being very exaggerated in what they're, okay. That's the problem when you trivialize serious things like that, but let's not get into that right now. So Renee Sherman, according to her Twitter bio, is a, she says, I had an abortion, black feminist, reproductive justice. So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume this person doesn't have the best time of her life when she goes on the internet. I can already tell she most likely gets a lot of abuse thrown at her. So I fully understand that somebody like Renee is a little more sensitive than most when she's on the internet. I'll give her that. So here's what happened. According to her tweets, which then became a story on the Daily Dot, she was minding her own business at the airport and some dude, this Jacob dude, kept sending her the Pepe meme. The Pepe meme, if you don't know, is a little cartoon frog that was relatively innocent until it became very intertwined with the whole Donald Trump camp and, you know, the deplorables, and it became a symbol of hate according to some organizations. Some people have tried to claim the frog back. The creator of the frog himself had a mock funeral for Pepe, so yeah. A mixed bag, to say the least. So the story says, while waiting for her delayed flight in Washington, D.C., writer and abortion rights advocate Renee Bracey Sherman allegedly received an AirDrop invitation of a Pepe the Frog meme on her laptop. Bracey Sherman says she turned on her Bluetooth so she could listen to music, and that enabled her AirDrop settings. She was surprised when she received a notification from a source named Jacob's MacBook Pro. I don't know why anyone would send that to me, so I freaked out a little, Bracey Sherman told the Daily Dot via email. It was quite unsettling and jarring to not only see this racist meme, but it was scary that it was showing up on my computer. Now, if you don't have Apple products, basically AirDrop is a feature that allows you to send files to other iOS or Mac OS users. It's an easy way to send a picture from an iPhone to a Mac or to an iPad. Some people will send pictures back and forth to strangers because it's kind of funny. I have done that myself on flights. I'll take a picture of like my thumbs up, and you can see in the picture that I'm in the same plane as you, and then I write like, have a nice flight, lol, and then send to like people that have their AirDrop enabled next to me, like just a silly thing. Now, I will give you that. The Pepe frog has, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a hate symbol like, say, the swastika, because some people try to equate Pepe with the swastika when they're talking about this context of like a symbol that symbolizes hate. You know, people have been actually killed by dudes wearing the swastika in buildings where the swastika was on the wall. So perhaps saying that Pepe is as offensive or as racist as a swastika is a bit of an exaggeration, and exaggeration is the theme of this whole story. So Renee, being very distraught at getting that meme on her computer, started looking around, doing some recon work, ended up seeing a dude on a Mac, and she kind of like looked over his shoulder, saw the name Jacob over on the status bar on the Mac or whatever you call it. She confronted the guy, asked if he was Jacob, and asked him, why you're sending me this racist meme. She ended up getting a picture of the dude to shame him on the internet to explain her story. And here's where, you know, I just said exaggeration seems to be the theme of this whole story. She said, this is Jacob. He sends people Pepe memes as threats via AirDrop in the airport. Then when approached about it, doesn't have shit to say. She goes on, he smiled when I approached, asking if he was Jacob who sent the meme. At first he said he sent it to a bunch of people just for fun. Like I said, I have done that myself in a large group of people, just sending like funny pictures back and forth to people. Sometimes people respond, sometimes they don't. So she goes on to call the guy again a white supremacist and a terrorist. A terrorist. We just had dozens of people killed very recently by actual terrorists, and you're saying you have been terrorized by a dude who sent you a picture on your computer. If you want to argue that that's invasion of privacy, that somebody's sending you something that was unsolicited, that's fine. You have a very strong point on that. If you want to say that the Pepe meme is inherently racist. I disagree. I'll give you that. The cartoon has been, as of late, because this cartoon has been around for years, but recently it became kind of connected with certain, let's say, unsavory groups. I'll give you that. But to call the guy a white supremacist because he sent you a picture, to call him a terrorist, that's going pretty far, lady. Look, like I said in the beginning, I get it. You are a black woman, an abortion rights activist, you're a feminist. I know, I understand that your internet experience is probably not the same as me. Now, and I get a lot of shit thrown at me, but I imagine people are not super friendly to you. I get that. And I understand that somebody in that position, somebody who fights these fights, they're gonna be more sensitive than, say, me, and they will see a lot more malice in something that I would see as pretty innocent. If somebody sends me a Pepe meme, as a Latino immigrant myself, I just kind of laugh at it. I don't think I would call the guy a white supremacist. That's a pretty serious charge. When you go around calling people white supremacists with really nothing to base it on, what you are saying is that you don't believe that this is a very bad label, that you can just throw it around. Maybe they're white supremacists, maybe they're not. Fuck it, I said it already. I think that white supremacists are garbage people. So I wouldn't go around calling just anybody that without a very good reason to say that. So we get to the whole point of exaggeration. A crying wolf. Like, you want to say, like I said, the guy shouldn't be saying you shit that you don't even know who he is. That's fine, you have a very good point there. But to call the guy a terrorist, a white supremacist, that might be pushing it just a little bit too far. And then when you encounter actual white supremacists, actual hateful people, it's gonna be hard to believe your version of facts because you exaggerate. One of the tweets here on the screen, where is it? Let me scroll up and right there. He sends people Pepe memes as threats via AirDrop in the airport. When I read that, I was like, whoa, wait a second. He was threatening her. Okay, he wasn't just sending pictures. He was threatening her. He was, okay, that's far more serious, especially at an airport of all places. So, okay, she has a very good, and then no, there were no threats. She just decided to describe her getting a picture on her fucking computer as a threat. There was no threat. I looked around, I asked people, like, what exactly did this guy do? Like, what was the threat? There was no threat, from as far as I can tell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she's just deciding to call this a threat. And I see this, don't get me wrong, I see this a lot from both sides. I see this from people on the left, I see this from people on the right. People will cling on to one thing somebody said and they'll just blow it up. They'll just make it out to be something far bigger than the person actually said or did because of their political stance. Again, I have seen this from both fucking sides. And you guys gotta fucking quit it. It's, like I just said, it gets to the point where you just cannot take, I mean, you shouldn't take people on their word, you should still do the research and everything. But when I see, you're saying that he threatened you, I'm taking that at face value, and I want to see, like, what did he do? What did he say? This guy's a piece of shit, he's threatening people at the airport. But no, you fooled me. You pulled one over on me. I got bamboozled. And that's bullshit. I don't like being made a fool of. I get plenty of that already. I don't need your help. So that's my point. Can we make the argument that it's kind of shitty to send people shit like that on their computers, on their phone, unsolicited? Sure. Is it a little bit worse if you use a picture that has, at the very best case scenario, a bit of a checkered history that could be misconstrued as something more sinister? Yeah, it's probably worse if you do that. But I feel like you already have a good enough point right there. When you go over it and then you call that harassment or terrorism, you call the dude a white supremacist, holy shit! You are going to make things worse for yourself, I think. When you encounter true, unadulterated, unambiguous hatred, and you're gonna tell a story that's exactly like that, I will not be able to tell the difference. So maybe, let's not do that. All of us collectively, let's not do that. I'm not just saying this lady here, Renee Sherman. Let's just stop with the fucking hysterics and exaggerating things. But that's how I feel about this. Let me know how you think I'm completely wrong, because I also get that a lot. So it's okay. I won't be hurt. But that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy and I'm done. Like I said, you had such a good point about being sent unsolicited pictures. The fact that you are an online activist, so you already see that image, that meme, as a symbol of hate. A decent argument can be made right there. Why do you go further? To me, what that says is that you believe that the argument is not good enough unless you fully demonize someone. Just call him a Nazi already. The need to go that far when you already had a decent enough argument on its own, it screams intellectual dishonesty to me.